New Garnier Men Acno Fight Gentle Cleanser. ये है gentle on skin, tough on pimples.
Well, India have outclassed Pakistan. It's as simple as that. They pick up the points in Colombo in a game where Ishan Kishan will take the headlines, and in the end it almost was too easy. Hardly any resistance from Pakistan, but for a 44 from Usman Khan. We look back at that on ESPN Ricken for Timeout, powered by Garnier Men. We'll hear from former Pakistan captain Arooj Mumtaz shortly. First up, Sanjay Bangar and Anil Kumble with me in studio. 30 each is what you said would be the difference. So
30 and then you add my 30.
Correct.
That's what
So
I said. Yeah, correct.
that.
60.
Yeah, so around 60. That's a massive win in T20 cricket. So 175 was well above par. But with the way that game finished, almost seemed like an inevitable, almost a no contest with due respect to Pakistan. Why was that?
Yeah, it looked the same. I mean, it was a no contest. I think the Indian bowlers certainly bowled better. I mean, you have to hit the pitch on a surface like that. And that's exactly how Hardik Pandya started off with the ball. And when the seam hits that surface at that length, it's not easy for any batter. It comes slower, there will be some sideways movement. We saw that. And Bumrah is a class apart. You know, he did that with the length first, then bowled that wonderful Yorker length to get a wicket. And then once you lose 3 wickets in the power play with the kind of quality that India has with the spin, there's no way that Pakistan had a chance.
Is it fair to say, Sanjay, or you can start from a completely different point, that even after the full game's done, it seems like Ishan Kishan has the biggest impression on this game. If India finished somewhere between 150, maybe it's a different game, bowlers a little more under pressure, 175, it looked like this was too easy for India. Is he the single most impactful player of the day?
No, I don't think so, because I believe that even if Ishan had to score maybe 25 runs short, India would still have got a par score and above par score, 160, 165, may not be 175 odd. But it just goes on to show that you can certainly make tactics as per the situations, but you also leave something for your own intelligence to take over once the game starts. So there is place even on a spinning track for fast bowlers. And that's what India probably did better. So irrespective of whatever the talk was, that okay, it's going to help spinners, the opponent has used 18 overs of spin, but if you have quality in the fast bowling department, you would still want to give it a first go rather than just go with preconceived ideas, and that can actually hamper the entire outlook of the team when they get onto the field of play.
And you sense that's what happened to Pakistan?
I feel so.
Okay, Uru, jump in on that, because a lot of things did go for Pakistan. They got the toss, and Anil was a little surprised, but for the weather that they chose. Now the weather's not played a part here. So if you have to start over and look at where Pakistan could have made more of a contest out of this and where they let it slip, where would you start?
I think it's a good time to revisit the decision at the toss. I mean, sometimes, yes, you look at weather, but that is not in your control. And in fact, all of us were surprised at the decision, considering the numbers at the stadium, 170 odd par score, all teams batting first, chasing has been difficult. Well, whatever Pakistan's plan were, even at the halfway mark, 175, yes, was above par, but the pitch wasn't demons all the way through. There was still value for shots in it. Whereby it wasn't 114 all-out surface, let's put it that way. In Pakistan, it was almost mind-boggling batting. Couldn't understand the shot selection. They let themselves down massively. 38 for 4 in the first 6 overs. You're chasing the game, especially when you've got an above-par total to chase. So again, I said this earlier as well, that this all-out gung-ho approach needs to come with some sort of strategic planning, and shot selection needs to be better. Yes, you got to go hard at the bowlers, but it can't be blind swiping at the ball.
Okay, we want to carry on from there. Do they have the personnel to play this approach?
Yeah, one is sitting in the dugout.
Fakhar Zaman.
Yeah, yes. he's a senior player. I mean, against India, you expect someone like that to be playing, or at least he's done well against India. He's not there. I'm sure a couple of them have been left behind in Pakistan. This lineup, it didn't look like. I mean, it didn't look like they would chase down 175, and yeah, weather must have played its part in their thought process. But I think you need to also think as to what's the best way to win a match before you start thinking what you should do at the toss. So I mean, the only way that I think this Pakistan team can beat India is to bat first and score whatever on the surface, even if you score 130, 140,
Yeah.
there is some pressure. If you get 2 wickets, early wickets like India got, Pakistan got in the first over, they got a wicket. That would have put pressure on India
The Asia Cup
if they
final.
were chasing
If
140.
we revisit the Asia Cup final, that's
Correct.
the hardest that
Correct.
India have had to beat.
Correct. So you, it's a complete team. India is a complete team. They have a very good batting lineup. They have a very good bowling lineup. You need to start thinking, what's your strength? You have to take strength, which is not necessarily their bowling department nor their batting department. So you say, okay, I will back my bowling and I'll back a little bit of pressure on the opposition.
Okay, I'll take the toss away for a moment. While your point is well taken, let's say India win the toss and they bat first as well. Now let's go down to why India's bowlers were so much more effective than Pakistan's. Let's break down all those reasons.
See, for Bumrah, the pitch doesn't really matter. So it's the Hardik Pandya thing, that how he can how he continues to give out those performances and does a job for his team, especially with the new ball as well. So hits the deck hard and is always at the stump. So unlike in the past, wherein if he saw the surface, if there is bounce, he would try and nick off a few batsmen. But when the surface is on a slower side and the bounce is lower, he's attacking the stumps as well. So I think there is place and time for each and every. If the leg spinners are so effective in a T20 game, then you might as well field 5 leg spinners and let them do the job. But I think there is time and place for each and every skill set, and that's where I feel that India values those skill sets and use them quite effectively.
Anil?
Yeah, I think in terms of quality, I think there's a mismatch. We can see that. Shaheen Shah Afridi is their best bowler, but he's not been at his best over the last couple of matches that we have seen him play against India. He's not been at anywhere close to it. He's looking to swing the ball, it's not happening, and then the length, he doesn't pull back the length on a surface like this. So these are changes that you need to make as an experienced bowler. He's the most experienced bowler.
Am I being unfair, sorry, by saying that it seems quite basic and Shaheen Shah Afridi for his experience?
Yeah,
the captain doesn't have the confidence to give him more than 2 overs.
No, and it's also not the first match that they're playing on the surface. They've been in Colombo for a while, and India is playing its first match. So you've seen yesterday when Australia played Zimbabwe a couple of days back. You've seen the surface. It's the same surface that this match is happening. And when you look at the pitch, you can make out that it's going to be dry, it's going to hold when you bowl. It's not like it has grass on the surface and it's going to skid. And I'm not sure. Shadab hasn't been, when he first came out of the scene, he was looked at as a bowler who can bat. Now it's the other way around, it seems, because his position in the lineup is at number 6. And he barely finishes 4 overs in any lineup. And today he was brought in at a crucial time when Ishan Kishan was dominating Pakistan bowlers.
Aruj?
Yeah, I think I have to echo what is being said. From a bowling pack point of view, yes, we spoke about Usman, Tariq and Abrar, Saim's effectiveness, but that is 2 or 3 bowlers. They don't get complemented by the other 2 or 3 bowlers that Pakistan have, i.e. comparison with Bumrah or Hardik Pandya. So as a bowling contingent, yes, we pick out the mystery of Abrar, Saim, phenomenal, and has been with the ball against India of the last 4 games that they played, including the Asia Cup. Abrar went for runs today, but Usman Tariq effective. But you got to bowl in partnerships. We were behind the 8 ball in the power play when India were batting. Shaheen Shah Afridi only came back for the 1 over towards the end, only the 1 over in front. Agree with what Anil is saying. Shadab is not the Shadab that broke onto the scene and hasn't been for a while. Been hit by injury twice, has only recently made a comeback in the series that Pakistan went to Sri Lanka for those 3 games, January, and now that when they played in Australia. So from a bowling contingent point of view, yes, Pakistan might have 3 great bowlers, but we don't have a complete 5 or 6 frontline bowling attack, man for man, against India in terms of comparison. So also the lines and lengths that Pakistan bowled, yes, there were variations in pace, but hitting the deck hard. Shaheen Shah Afridi's subject point of view as to awareness and understanding the game, again, I might sound like a broken record, but yes, when his pace is dropped, said this at the start of the show as well, look for the swing. If it's not there, you know it in the first couple of deliveries. You can't keep pitching the ball up and expecting the swing, especially when you're bowling at less than 140 Ks. Even if it does swing at that pace, it's not as effective as it is at 145, and it's not swinging for him anymore. So he needs to come back to hitting the good length hard into the surface, or just channelizing that good length area and just going on at it and asking for the batter to make a mistake. So Pakistan will have to look at these, but these errors or these conversations are repeated, and that's the worry.
Okay, something for Mike Hesson and Salman Ali Agha to think about, because India have outplayed them. Let's talk about who did perform though. Let's go to Kishan for what it's worth though, because I'd like to go to this bigger story that we teased in the mid-show. He wasn't supposed to be in this squad until the second last series before the World Cup, and now he is the #1 keeper, and now he pretty much shines at a time where Abhishek Sharma's T20 World Cup, fair to say, still to take off. Incredible story for Ishan Kishan.
Absolutely. I think, the best part is he's gone back to doing what he needs to do. Go back to domestic cricket, get runs and come back. And that's exactly what he's done. When he was dropped from the squad, everyone felt for Ishan Kishan because he was performing. He didn't get an opportunity because this team is such where Kuldeep Yadav had to sit for a while before he got this opportunity. The only reason he got this opportunity was, yes, India was playing Pakistan, but also the surface.
And
otherwise,
Arshdeep has to sit out.
Arshdeep had to sit out.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge of being a part of the squad. But what he's also done well, I mean, if you notice today's innings, he hit 1-6 off the spinner. The previous Ishan Kishan of the earlier version of version 1, if you may call it, would have probably wanted to go again. Today he was waited for the ball. Offside game. Just tapped it to
So you think that is a marked improvement?
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons he's not just getting you those 20s, 30s. He's giving you 60s, 70s. And that's the hallmark. He's already got 100, since he's made his comeback. And it shows. It shows in his game. It shows that he wants to convert and make those runs count for his team. And that's what you want. When someone goes away and comes back, you want him to be a better player. Not just skill-wise, but here. And that's exactly what Ishan has shown.
Batting coach, weigh in if he's works consciously to open up his offside game, improved his offside game.
I would say more than the offside game, he's probably also using his front foot game quite a lot. And there was a time in his career, and at times you do get when you want to play international cricket that badly. One of the challenges as a young player is that can you play the short ball really well, and the entire focus goes on playing the short ball, and you probably try and work a lot on your horizontal bat shots, and at times you're just hanging back. But the Ishan Kishan that I see now is somebody who is also willing to play on the front foot a lot and then react to the short ball. So it's not necessarily only one side of the wicket that he's targeting or one length that he's targeting. So he's setting up for the fuller balls and then taking the short ball if there is one to be taken on.
Aruj, final word on you, just on what Pakistan's bowlers could have done perhaps to keep him quiet.
I thought they started off well with him, obviously, when they were targeting or asking him to go to that offside field, and then where it was, yes, he was trying to still get the boundaries, but every now and then they dished up a boundary delivery which kept relieving the pressure. Either went in short or went onto his legs very strong there. But like what Sanjay is saying, I think the fact that in massive contrast to what the Pakistan players did, kept going irrespective whether the ball was there for a boundary or not. Ishan was very smart in maneuvering the ball, using the crease laterally effectively as well, and then still picking up ones and twos in between the boundary deliveries, why Pakistan then further made errors. So I just thought it was a phenomenal innings. Great story for him as a comeback as well, and I don't think he misses out on his spot again now.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. Ishan Kishan is now the second highest run scorer in the tournament. I mean, who knows, he could possibly finish his tournament's leading run scorer, which again just makes this an extraordinary story. Any areas of concern from this game for India? Is this as close to the complete game they played? Perhaps a few untidy moments in the field, a few catches going down. But barring Kishan, there was also the rest of the batting that didn't really take this game by storm.
Yeah, but they did the job. I mean, that's what you expect. The conditions were not where you just go and blast. I mean, we saw that Hardik Pandya tried that with the first ball, it didn't go his way.
That was not a very bright shot.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah.
He probably thought that, okay, since it's that area, he sort of targets. As soon as any bowler bowls in that area, he goes. On a good pitch, probably easily would have cleared that. I mean, we have seen Hardik hit sixes just standing and hitting that. And no boundary is big enough for his hits. But today wasn't his day. But I think on a surface like that, India did ensure that they got to a good score. I mean, what was really good is the captain again leading the way, saying I'm going to bat on a surface like this. He did that against the USA when they were in trouble. That's what you need. You need one batter in situations like this where it's tricky to bat and ensure that you get to a good score and everyone else around him.
3 ducks in 5 games for Abhishek Sharma is what we discussed on the pre-show. Now that's 4 in 6. Still, it doesn't feel like there's a cause for concern, or is there?
No, I don't think so. There's cause for concern, and see, there is, because the kind of depth that this particular batting lineup has, and because of the body of work that he's had in the past, you want him to be the impactful player that he is. So, I mean, history has been evident to many such instances wherein you may have a run of low scores, but these are impactful players. And you have to live with such moments. As a management, it can get tougher. If it happens again, the criticism can be directed towards the captain, towards the management, but that's where the courage has to be there to keep backing such talent, so that in the eventual outcome, when it matters, they do pull off some magic moments.
I suppose it's quite flattering for someone playing his first T20 World Cup that perhaps the opposition has spent the maximum time preparing for him. The deep cover was placed for the first time in the US game. Salman Agha's decided, I think, predominantly to throw Abhishek Sharma off, and maybe they're focusing so much on him, but that's where Kishan and other players seem to be reaping rewards.
Yeah, we also focused a lot on Usman Tariq, and he came only in the 11th over, by which time India had gone past 110. So that's where probably you need to sort of think through as well. Yes, he certainly brings in that quality in him who can destroy the bowling attack in the first 6 overs, and opposition teams will have to discuss if you have to get him out cheaply, otherwise you're in trouble.
I think I just have a question for Uruz here.
Please.
Uruz, can you hear me, Uruz?
Yeah, loud and clear. Go on.
What are the chances of Pakistan resorting to Babar going at the top of the order and Fakhar Zaman playing at number 4?
Who do you drop out?
Maybe the opener.
No, sir, can't be Saim Ayub, he's the best bowler right now. But yeah, Sahibzada Farhan.
Sahibzada Farhan.
It was. I mean, see, Sahibzada Farhan didn't score today, but he had a really good build-up in terms of series against South Africa, tri-series, Sri Lanka and Australia recently at home. So he's making runs there. They tried this experiment with Fakhar up the order. He was falling off the boil slightly, and to adjust Babar, they dropped Fakhar to 5, Usman to 6. In all fairness, yes, Fakhar fits in, and he fits in only in the top 3. The problem is then where does Babar fit in? And if you put Babar on top, then where does Fakhar go? Because then you have Saim and Sahibzada Farhan. The problem with this, Sanjay, is Pakistan have 6 openers in the squad. That is the fundamental problem. So somebody eventually, or 1 or 2 people, will have to bat out of place. Sahibzada Farhan, Saim Ayub, Babar, in all honesty, was our best T20 opener in terms of the runs he got. Not discussing strike rates right now. Usman Khan, best numbers in the top 3, and so does Fakhar. So, and I said this at the start of the tournament, I thought Pakistan got the squad selection wrong, and that is why we run into this problem as to now to rejig, you don't have a proper middle order batter, and thereby you got to play people out of position, and then to fit Fakhar in, I wouldn't drop Sahibzada Farhan because I still feel he deserves a go, and he's probably right up there getting runs for Pakistan. Saim Ayub brings that all-round utility factor as well. Captain bats at 3, and you can't bat Babar anywhere below 4. So even at 4, I think he's still finding his feet in spite of all the experience he has. And if Fakhar bats, he bats in the top 3 for me. So there is Pakistan's problem.
Okay.
I hope she's answered your question, Mr. Bagar. It seemed like emphatically.
I'll have to apologize for my ignorance for what Pakistani batters have done.
Sahibzada Farhan has been their top scorer, I think, in the last couple of games.
Last game
so
he
there
was,
you have
got
that.
70.
Yeah, and I think the conversation around certainly social media on Pakistan cricket is that Fakhar is competing with Babar Azam.
Yeah.
Now, are they willing to make that call? Dropping Babar Azam. But anyway, other than all that, everything seems good, Uruj, what you've just said. But let's quickly rush off positives. Yeah, I think full credit to Usman Khan firstly, and even Tariq for his first game with all the chat around it. That's a good return. Maybe Pakistan could have used him, but temperamentally, there's a lot to like about Usman Tariq with his first India-Pakistan game under the shadow of all that was said of his action and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, know him as a person, spoken to him a while in terms of obviously his outings in the franchise form or in for Pakistan recently as well at the home season that we had. Very confident, sort of unperturbed by the outside noise in terms of his action, whether what's happened or not. And so I feel, and that showed in his demeanor, in his character, calm, cool customer, is very assured of his delivery and his bowling. So that's why, and I think Usman Khan, a credit to him to come out. I thought his shot selection was probably the best of the lot, hence why he managed to maneuver the strike. He backs himself, prides himself, in fact, on hitting boundaries against spin, and that is one thing that did come good. Saim with his all-round in terms of the wickets that he picked up, 3 important wickets that he got, so that gives Pakistan a utility factor in terms of the power play and out of it. But by and large, said batting versus batting, and Pakistan massively let themselves down.
Just a quick one, last game coming up against Namibia, which becomes a must-win game on net run rate. The USA have suddenly picked up some big wins against both the Netherlands and a little while earlier today against Namibia. So no cause for concern, Uruj? Super 8 still looking good?
When have we heard that before? It comes down to net run rate. Well, yeah. Firstly, obviously, a must-win game. But again, Pakistan find themselves in these impossible scripted positions, and knowing Pakistan, they'll probably find a way out of it as well. To be honest, yes, they played a good game against the US, but not by any means the game. No disrespect to any country, but even Netherlands, I mean, had Max held on that catch, we probably wouldn't be having a Super 8 discussion right now for Pakistan, right?
Yes.
So, to be fair, Pakistan are yet to play a game where they check all boxes, are in a commanding sort of position. And today, I hope they don't take a very big moral hit, because, like you say, the Namibia game, no, you can't write any team down, especially in a T20 game. But Pakistan must pull their socks up if they are to go forward and compete in the Super 8 stage.
I am looking forward to that game. Usman Tariq and Herad Erasmus both pulling some slingers left, right, and centre. That should be fun. All right, Uruj, thank you very much for that. India, looking forward. They'll be very happy coming home. Coming back home, Netherlands at Ahmedabad, and then potentially the Super 8 games again at venues which I think Abhishek Sharma, rest of the batting lineup would certainly enjoy. You see them just going back to the combination. Could this very well be the last game we see of Kuldeep Yadav? Then they just go back, but things looking good for India.
Things looking good. Kuldeep also bowled well today.
Yes,
and Arshdeep has been bowling well, so that will be the swap, and I'm sure Abhishek Sharma will be looking forward to the Ahmedabad pitch. I mean, we saw that yesterday when Markram just took the game away. So Abhishek can do that too on that surface. India looking good. It's important to not let the guard down, because at any given point in time in this World Cup, I know they've qualified, you don't want a situation saying let's rest this bowler, let's rest him, let's bring that guy. I don't think you don't need to do all those experiments.
Would you have done let's give Rinku Singh an over and let's give Tilak Verma. Tilak Verma gets a wicket as well. But they seem to do these funky things even at
it was okay today, but then I'm saying for the Netherlands game, you want the entire lineup to be ready.
And those boxes you mentioned at the halftime show, Akshar Patel will be handy. Akshar Patel was excellent today, so with every player sort of just hitting their straps.
I think that's what you need in a tournament. You want everyone to get opportunities, everyone to put their hand up when they get their ball in hand or bat. So things are looking good.
Anything that you'd still like to see India iron out, improve on ahead of the bigger stakes in the Super 8s? They've got one more group game now.
I can only way to look at improvements is what you didn't really do optimally, and that's probably the catching part.
Right.
So India has been a little bit under par as far as catching efficiency is concerned. That's what the record tells us, and we get thrown off by multiple stats nowadays. So it clearly shows that they're not catching as effectively. Ground fielding has been really, really good.
Yes.
And if you think of the seeded teams in the Super 8s, if all goes well as per the plan, then you have South Africa, you have West Indies, and you have potentially Australia. So yeah, that's quite a strong group, and you want to be right up there in terms of all three departments of the game.
I'll tell you what, that group with Australia, after that Zimbabwe loss, could go anyway. So that's a big one. But yeah, that is a very convincing win for India. And that was a fun game in its own way. I'm glad we could just focus on the cricket. There are certain things that I guess will figure themselves out when they figure themselves out. But on that note, Anil Kumble, thank you so much for your time and your thoughts. We personally congratulated Anil for the stand named in his honor, sir, in case you would also like to, or you already finished congratulating him on air.
No, I didn't. I think he's far above all this.
Oh.
I mean, if it had to happen, it could have happened earlier. So it doesn't really matter.
I told him personally that Sanjay name only has some
Yeah.
fire in it.
Especially when they sit here in the studio in front of Ronak.
Why blame the
No, I'm just saying.
I think
in
he
the
brings
studio.
the best out of Sanjay.
Yeah, correct.
What I do is I shut up at the right time. So then you all can keep talking.
He gives the chavi at the right time.
Dr. Aruj Mumtaz, absolute pleasure as always having you on our network, and we
Pleasure,
look
guys.
forward to having you again very soon. I think there are a few Super 8 games slotted for you, and I hope that plan does not change. So look forward to your company then. Thank you so much for joining us from Karachi, and Mr. Bangar and Mr. Kumble, always a pleasure having you and your thoughts in. It looks good for India. It looks ominous for the rest of the tournament that the defending champions are hitting their straps. The most difficult opposition in the group stage was Pakistan, and that is India's most convincing win so far. So we look forward to your company again tomorrow when Australia and Sri Lanka meet. In fact, that's such an important game. Let me quickly get a word in from the two of you. Australia, Sri Lanka. If Australia lose, that could pretty much be curtains.
Yeah, it could be. Lots of injury concerns, and you don't know whether the skipper, Mitch Marsh, is going to play. Stephen Smith is waiting there in the wings. So yes, lots of things. This doesn't necessarily happen to Australia in a World Cup. And they've lost to Zimbabwe. They lost momentum. And
Do you see Sri Lanka almost starting tomorrow's favourites at home?
yeah, but I think still Australia should come through. I feel they should come through. We've seen that in World Cups, especially in World Cups for Australia.
Yeah.
They have the quality. It's just that they need to hit the straps. So.
Mr. Bangar?
I think a hungry Stephen Smith is going to come back to the team, and that is going to make all the difference, because
Wow.
I also believe that if he comes back, I'm not so sure about what's happening with the decision making, but if he's going to lead the team, then I think he has the stats, the tactics.
He makes a difference as a captain.
To manage the resources that he has at his disposal.
Okay, brilliant. Well, we'll be live tomorrow for it. Thank you so much, gentlemen, again. And thank you for being part of the conversation. We look forward to your company tomorrow as we build up to that Australia-Sri Lanka game just before toss. So join us then on ESPN again for Time Out, powered by Garnier Men. Good night.
न्यू गार्नियर मेन एक्नो फाइट जेंटल क्लेंजर ये है